Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is the Backward Glance. Today is July 16th, 2019, and I'm back with another What Sold Quickly on eBay video. So in these videos, I share 10 items that I flipped within the first 30 days of being listed in my eBay store. I know a lot of people have different opinions on what constitutes a fast sale, but I do mainly sell apparel items, and clothing is generally considered to be more of a long tail item. So I've been focusing the last 5 or 6 months when I'm sourcing on really trying to find items that dependably sell quickly. So not every item in these videos is always going to sell quick, and certainly not every item that I pick up sells quickly, but it's kind of nice to just learn about what does sell fast and get to know things that are really dependable sellers, especially this time of year when sell-through rates for almost everything are just a little bit down from what you would see in like fall and winter. At any rate, just to get into it, the first item is this Bowden top. I don't pick up all the Bowden pieces I see. I would say maybe one out of every 4 or 5 pieces. I usually pick it up if it's a plus size or if I just think that it's cute. And this top just fell into the I thought it was cute category. So I paid $4.25 for this, and I sold it through Offers to Watchers for $19.40. That took 22 days to sell. And let me get the tag up here for you. There you go. I would say the best pieces that I find in Bowden are like printed dresses in large sizes, but I will pick up other stuff, just sort of like I said, if I think it's cute. Next is a Wrangler shirt, and this one was new with tags, and this is exactly the kind of style that of Wrangler shirt that's worth picking up. So I don't usually just pick them up if they're plaid or a solid color, but these Southwestern designs usually do sell well, and the keyword that's kind of associated with this is usually Aztec. That's what you'll see in people's titles, and I'm assuming that's what people are typing into the search bar too. I kind of feel like there's probably a lot of times when that word is not actually applicable to these patterns, but I'm going with it because it seems to help people find my items. So that said, I paid $4.25 for this, and I got my full asking price of $36. I actually sold this twice. The first time I sold it the same day I listed it, but that buyer never came through and paid. And then I relisted it and it sold in 5 days, so a little extra confirmation that this shirt was a good pickup. I'm sure that you've seen Wrangler out and about, but there's the tag that was in this particular shirt. And there was the hang tag. I was just checking to see. I can't see a price on there. I have found Wrangler new with tags that's only marked at 20 bucks, so it's certainly not an expensive brand, but you can command a little higher prices for these sort of Southwestern patterned ones. Here is a vintage item that is in a brand I had never heard of called Gooch, and I just, obviously because of the funky print, this shirt stood out to me. I don't pick up a lot of vintage anymore. Vintage used to be literally my whole business when I was selling more on Etsy years ago, but I have found on eBay that vintage really has to be name brand for it to sell well, for me at least. So I looked up this brand, and it does actually seem to have a following. So I guess you say Gooch is the name of this. And most of their shirts, I think, are 100% rayon. This one happened to be a blend. At any rate, I paid $4.25 for this. I got my full asking price of $28, and it took 27 days to sell. The fourth item is this pair of 511 tactical pants, and these are a men's pant, and I did look up the style number inside, which led me to calling them Class B poly rayon cargo pants. So these are typically worn by like police officers, EMS workers, things like that. Here is the tag from the inside. both men's and women's pants you will find in this brand, and also shirts and things. I've only ever picked up the pants. I never would recommend paying up for these. I generally don't get any more than $18 to $22 for them. I list them a little higher so that I can make offers, which is what I did in this case. So I paid $2.15 for this pair and sent offers to watchers for $20, and they took 5 days to sell. Men's Lululemon is one of my favorite categories to find, and these shorts were called the Surge Light Running Shorts. I picked these up for $4.25. I got my full asking price of $34, and these took just 3 days to sell. Here is the Lululemon logo from the side there, and these ones, I don't think they had their pull tab in them anymore. No, they didn't. So I was a little bit nervous that the buyer would say they were too small because I thought that they looked really, really small to be men's shorts, especially a men's medium short. But I got good feedback from the buyer today, so that was a relief. Next is a pair of Nike Golf men's pants, and I probably won't be picking up much golf stuff from here on out, but I was trying to get a little bit of it in my store for the summer, so I picked these up for $4.25. I did get my full asking price of $28 on these, and they took 10 days to sell. Here is the tag from the inside there. They were the dry fit style, and these ones were a flat front and not pleated and not cuffed at the bottom, so I think that's a little bit better style to pick up. Next is this Title IX dress. Title IX is one of my staple brands, and this was just like a cap sleeve dress with this cool print on it. I paid $6.40 for this dress. I got my full asking price of $32, and it took just 3 days to sell. Here is the Title IX logo from the inside. And I believe that this brand only makes women's items. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of the best items to find from this brand is their winter dresses. I'm not sure if they're like merino wool, but some of their long sleeve knit dresses can command a much higher price, so keep your eye out for those. Here is the 8th item, a pair of Banana Republic men's pants in just absolutely super wrinkled condition. And these were wool pants. I didn't really expect them to sell till the fall. I picked these up for $3.35, which was half off. My local thrift store always marks these at $5.99 plus tax. And I really never look at Banana Republic unless I'm there on a day when it's half off, so that's what happened in this case. I did get my full asking price of $24, and they took just 4 days to sell. Here's the tag from the inside. So my recommendation with Banana Republic, and same with like Express and, general mall brands, is sometimes it's worth looking up when it has a style name printed on the tag, because these mall brands do get a following. People know how they fit and they know what size they wear and everything. So when you can find them for cheap, sometimes it is worth picking them up, in my opinion. Item number 9 is this pair of Adidas Nitro Charge cleats, and these were a garage sale pickup, and they were really dirty when I got them, and I kind of regretted buying them just because I got home and didn't feel like cleaning them. So I ended up including these in my 30% off sale, which was mostly on older items. However, I feel like the time for cleats is probably drawing to a close a little bit. I'm starting to think of more back to school, fall sort of items. So I wanted to make sure that these moved out and I didn't have them through until next summer, essentially. So I paid $3 for these. I sold them on sale for $23.80, and these took 28 days to sell. And my 10th item is a random hard good. I do also have some bonus items, so stick around even if your interest is only in clothing, and I'll get to those. So this was a coffee mug that I picked up, and just thought it was cute. Don't know a ton about mugs. Obviously stood out to me just as something kind of unusual, and this was actually a pretty large mug too. And so it was signed on the bottom Molly Hatch, as you can see there. And that is an Anthropologie brand. So comps looked decent for Molly Hatch mugs. Some of them were more in the $16 to $18 range, but this one there was none listed and only one sold, and that one had sold for $24. So I just went ahead and used that price to start with. I paid $1 for this mug. I got my full asking price of $24, and it sold within just hours of listing. So if you find this mug, maybe try and push that price point up a little bit. Could have been the perfect price, or it could have been just a little low. I guess I will never know unless I find the same mug again. So I think $24 plus $10 shipping for a mug is a pretty decent price to pay for a mug. So there must be some people out there who really want these. So those were the 10 items that did in fact sell quickly, and I thought I would show you some bonus items, which I sometimes do and I sometimes don't, and I'll kind of share why I picked them. So my first bonus item of this is this St. John skirt, and the reason I picked this is because I talk a lot about sell-through rate and how I really focus on buying things that sell fast, but there are certain brands that almost never sell fast for me, but I will still buy them because I can hold out and get a decent price for them. Excuse me. So St. John is one of those brands. It's pretty darn rare for me to sell a St. John piece within 30 days. But this skirt, I did even pay up for it. I paid $9. I got my full asking price of $54. It took 2 months to sell. Had quite a lot of views and watchers, but it just took that special person who wanted to come along and pay me a pretty high price for a skirt. So really happy with that sale. Now the next two items are on a little bit different note. So there's a lot of brands that you hear about all the time on reselling videos, and you would think like they're going to be great to sell. So this is a new with tag North Face ski pant. These were like a really lightweight pant, but you can see that the person on the tag is in fact like cross-country skiing, so that's what they're made for. And like I said, new with tags. Picked these up for $4.05. Had them listed for 5 months. In that time, I did sell them once, and they got returned for not fitting, which was fine, but they were only out of my shop for like 2 weeks or something. Never really got a lot of views, never really got a lot of watchers, and I ended up putting them in my 30% off sale, and then I got some watchers, and then I sent out offers to watchers and sold them for just 18 bucks, so this one, and kind of the point of the next one too, is just to show you that you can do all your research and you can think you know what sells, and then you have these items that just kind of prove you wrong a little bit. So honestly, if I saw these again for cheap, I'd probably pick them up again, but you know, the North Face is generally a good brand to sell, and snow pants are generally a good item, and new with tags is generally a good thing. So also, I was a little nervous because North Face I have heard that they kind of enforce the Vero policy, and they will sometimes remove listings for new with tag North Face. It's fine to list it as pre-owned, but the new with tag they have a issue with. But these were up for 5 months and that never happened, so either I got lucky or they only do that periodically, but something to know about the North Face. And the last item is this Lululemon men's Pulse track jacket, and this is again an item that I thought would sell really quickly. I have sold maybe 7 or 8 pieces of men's Lululemon since I started selling in February of last year, and I don't think I've ever had one for more than a week except for this jacket, which took 3 months to sell. So I listed it at 42, which was right in line with comps, but there weren't a lot of comps for it. And I probably could have gone back at some point and kind of adjusted it, but I don't think I did that. I paid $8 for it, and I ended up selling it on sale for $30.55. So, still a decent flip and decent profit margin, but just kind of a surprising item to have sitting around for so long. Not a great picture, I can admit that. This was back when my lens was broken on my phone, so I was taking kind of sub-quality pictures, but still an item I would have expected to flip fast. So it just goes to show you, you never know, you have to do your best to kind of predict. And sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're wrong, and sometimes you're just surprised by things. So that's all that I have to show you today. I do appreciate you watching. If you feel so moved to hit any of those buttons down below, like, dislike, subscribe, whatever you'd like, that would be great. And I'll see you next time.